I woke looking at an unfamiliar ceiling. For a moment, I wondered where I was before the events of last night all came back to me. As I got up and looked around, I realized I had apparently slept on the floor. Where am I? This isn't my apartment. Guess I must have passed out after I got Bryce home. Hey, Bryce. He is salivating. You're salivating. Dragon moved and let out a groan before he opened his eyes. Just as you do occasionally, I bet. Damn, my head. Why are you even here? I guess I must have passed out after I escorted you home. Oh, right, after our little game. You remember who won? I don't even know, but you stood your ground and I respect that. You didn't do anything funny while I was out, did you? Dragon rose from the couch with a nice morning stretch, rubbed his eyes, then held his head high as he let out a grunt and a big yawn. Alright, you know what? I'm sorry. The whole contest thing was a stupid idea and I shouldn't have suggested it, especially not to you. Well, it's not like you forced me to participate, so I suppose I share some of the blame. Let's just pretend the whole thing never happened. Deal. Wait, what time is it? Ugh. Damn, I should really get going or I'll be late for work. You know how to get back to your apartment from here, right? I think so. Guess you should be going as well, kiddo. Maybe I'll see you some other time. Here we go. Intuition, Chapter 3. Okay, sounds of running water. But only in the left, and it's gone now. Morning sun was declared the arrival of a new day and woke me from my vivid dreams. Memories of my home, enclosed within the towering perimeter, well raced through my head. Towering perimeter wall. Wait, what's going on Earth? There's a lack of sunlight, and your home is, and the home you're describing is making me think of Attack on Titan. The peaceful landscape outside the apartment window stood in defiance of these old thoughts. So your Earth home is also not peaceful, or at least doesn't have a peaceful landscape. Okay, something's going on with Earth. Rolling hills and blue sky were familiar to me now. The purity of the sight gave me hope. Cat, please come with me. What's going on? You sound serious. Chief will explain everything once we arrive. Okay. I guess there's another body. Or we're back at the science school. Hey, Chief, Cat is here. Thanks, Sebastian. You can deal with the situation here while I talk to Cat, alright? Of course. Cat, I've got some really bad news. Well, what is it? You know Anna, right? I've met her, yes. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say this. These few words were enough. Dread sank in, I already knew. Don't. I ignored his words and walked past him. Oh shit. I didn't expect Anna to be murdered. When I turned the corner, there was no mistaking her. Anna was haphazardly covered by a sheet, leaving her tail and blood-stained hand exposed. In the end, she didn't even deserve full discretion. Are you okay? I don't know. Is there anything that I can do? Let's just get this over with. Bryce gave me a concerned look, but then nodded. And there's more bad news. The blood we found the first victim in town matches the DNA evidence found the second victim at the power facility. Furthermore, the murder weapon and method appear to be the same across all three victims, and that's going to be a big problem for you. Why is that? Because with these three murders, Reza now qualifies as a serial killer. You won't be able to keep this whole thing quiet for much longer. Higher authorities, including the ministry in charge of your whole visit, will know about this soon. I have no idea what will happen once they do. I'm not sure what to say to that. I don't want to worry you, but we can be sure that action will be taken soon. I've been considering this possibility for a while, and think it might be best if you went back to your own world for now. This way we can take action before the ministry does, and before this all becomes public. If we wait, we don't know what they'll do or how the public will react. With everything going on, it's too dangerous for you to stay here. No. No. This would be the worst possible time for me to leave. We've given up our PDAs and hardly have anything to show for it. There are several more generators, and let's not forget that Reza is still missing. If I leave now, the only thing I return home with is my life. I'll have lost everything else. We need those generators, Bryce. No idea if your authorities will continue to uphold our deal or what they do to Reza, but I'm not leaving till this is over. If that's your decision, then so be it. Very materialistic of you, Cad. Anyway, let's get back on track. I called you here for a reason, Cad. In addition to the murder, several things were stolen, among them your PDAs, batteries, and some components used to build generators. Does that ring any bells? Not really. Reza might have some knowledge of electronics. I doubt he's enough to assemble one of your generators if they had the parts. Strange. Even so, it's fair to assume Reza's involvement at this point. No one else has a greater motive to steal the PDAs, especially after what happened between him and Maverick. Unless someone wanted to frame Reza in order to sabotage this whole operation. Do you really believe that? Hey, I'm just saying that it's possible. I'll shelf that idea under possible but unlikely. Hey, Chief, are we done here? Pretty much, why do you ask? Just got a message from the higher-ups. You and Kat report to the Ministry of Culture and Arts immediately. Immediately, as in right now? Yeah, apparently. What's going on? To be frank, I don't know. This is an extraordinary situation, and now it's getting out of hand. They must want to address it. So, the worst possibility. If you expect the worst, at least you won't be disappointed. Sebastian, you can finish up here and go to the ministry when you're done. We'll probably have to make some arrangements after this meeting. Sure thing, Chief. Let's go then, shall we? It's not like we have a choice. So could Anna's murder be prevented? Or is that just like a doomed relationship? That was quicker than I expected. Wouldn't have minded waiting out here a little longer. Greetings, Minister. Greetings. Shall we go inside for our official business? No, I've got everything I need right here. It gets so stuffy inside on hot days. My system doesn't seem to mind, but I prefer the fresh air. I'd rather just stay right here, unless you have any objections. I don't. I see. Well, I know I haven't exactly been up to date in regards to Reza's sudden disappearance, but to get the message today that he is a confirmed serial killer was quite shocking. Confirmed? He's highly suspected, but we don't have evidence nailing him yet. Frankly, I'm curious as to why the facts of this case have been withheld from me for so long. Because we don't have facts. We just have assumptions. Simply because they weren't within your jurisdiction. The murders were strictly a police matter. Only with the amount of new evidence, namely the DNA and blood we found, And these 3 murderers now being linked together, and to him did your ministry have to become involved.
I see. So Reza's involvement is now undeniable.
I'm afraid so, Minister.
Facts are nothing to be afraid of. Though, in light of all this, I'm starting to worry about my personal safety.
With our thick hides, I don't think our species has much to fear if I consider the murder weapon.
Speak for yourself. You don't think someone of my standing needs protection?
Oh, for sure. If you're worried about your personal safety, we could look into an escort for you.
Good. Considering all the murders took place during the night, I'll certainly need it. Long days are endemic in my line of work.
But that's enough about myself. We now face the question of what should be done about Reza and Cad. Mister, we continue our hunt for Reza every day. As a matter of fact, Cad has been helping us do so for a while now.
Is that so? One human a murder, another a detective. Interesting.
Now do we know Cad isn't following a similar plan to Reza's, whatever that may be. Similar concerns were leveled by Reza's escort Maverick. It was his overreaction that caused Reza to run away in the first place.
Let the human talk for once, Chief.
Please, Cat, enlighten me. You and Reza came here on the same mission, and the situation has escalated beyond our expectations.
What you tell me now will determine the actions I'll take on this matter. Maybe you should start by telling me your side of the events from the beginning. Reza was fine during his early days here. Things only went wrong after you arrived.
I opened my mouth, but Bryce spoke first, determined to defend me. Arguably, the problems that caused all this were apparent even then.
How so?
Maverick suspected Reza planning something, but I didn't think he had a case.
Well, did he?
No, what he had was a suspicion. The night he followed Reza, he found both him and Cat at the portal. The humans intended to send one of their promised generators through, but there was a confrontation that ended with both Maverick and Cat wounded, and Reza running away. Reza's been missing ever since.
I've read the reports already, Chief. Question is, did Maverick cause this, or did he just fail to prevent it?
I have no way of knowing that, Minister.
You just mentioned your apparent knowledge of problems back then.
Problems may not have been the right word. Let's just say Maverick's attitude was not helpful during that encounter.
Why did you choose Maverick as his escort in the first place?
Protection for the human ambassador was my greatest concern when I made that decision, and Maverick was the most capable individual in that regard.
Well, that worked out nicely, didn't it? You also seem to think that Maverick shouldn't have remained Reza's escort. Is that true?
Yes, had I paid more attention to the warning signs, the situation may have been avoided.
So you accept responsibility for the incident?
Yes, Minister.
I see. Now, let us get back to the topic of Cad. Reza was your partner in humanity's mission come to this world. This list of criminal activities not only includes murder, but also theft of generators, electronic components, and the PDAs your people gave to us. I understand why Bryce would reason that you could help the investigation. We have no other choice but to be suspicious of Reza's partner. What was your motivation when you agreed to help us?
My best bet at finding the truth.
I thought Reza's involvement was undeniable at this point.
It's not. That may be true, but we still don't have the whole picture. We don't know if others are involved or his reasons. I just want to know why.
I see. Well, after reading up on the whole situation and hearing both your accounts, I believe that Cat is trustworthy.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's it? One question? Okay, yep, he's trustworthy.
Nevertheless, I think Cad presents a great risk.
Why is that?
After this meeting, I will hold a press conference to inform the public of the current situation. The people must know the danger posed by Reza. No matter what Bryce and I think about your involvement, the public could feel differently. You, me, and Bryce will have to face the backlash resulting from this information becoming public. And what's more, Cad, you might be in real danger yourself. Reza himself may come to silence you once he learns that you are helping us, or consider the public uproar from those who would question your involvement. All things considered, it would be for the best that you return to your own world till the situation has been resolved.
I came to the very same conclusion, Minister.
Then, with your support, this is what shall be done.
Please don't.
You don't agree?
You send me back now, this diplomatic relationship is over. I'd have to admit defeat to humanity. There's no way I can return without your generators, our PDAs, or Reza.
Maybe you could explain to them what a great choice of an ambassador Reza was.
But I was his partner, so in a way, he is my responsibility. I can't just go back like this.
I'm afraid that's not enough. It certainly doesn't outweigh our reasons for sending you home.
Just let me explain. I'll tell you everything. Years ago, our world was prosperous. Our technology is far more advanced than yours, even. Computers not only graced every household, but every single person. It was the age of information. Even children had the power to access the most advanced knowledge at their fingertips. Our PDAs, our interconnectedness with other people and our environment was greater than ever. Wait, are PDAs cell phones? What? From locomotion to repetitive work and household chores, many processes were automated to such a degree that except for our jobs and hobbies, there was nothing that needed to be done by a person anymore. Even the concept of someone wielding a weapon was outdated, as wars were no longer fought by people, but machines. So the political dick measuring contest that is wars is who can build and command the greater war machines. Looking back, it was probably the single most prosperous time in human history. Exploitation of the environment and other people was at an all-time low, as was crime. I get the feeling that crime wouldn't be that low in this kind of future, but hey. Conversely, our technological advancements had drastically increased quality of life. Humans were no longer required for strenuous or repetitive tasks. Education had reached an all-time high, and many new jobs were created. General happiness had reached levels never before seen. Yet, one day, everything changed. The sun. A solar flare that was headed for Earth was detected by an automated monitoring system. It was determined to be so powerful that it dwarfed all others ever recorded in history. We had less than a week to prepare. Chaos hit much earlier than that, as people scrambled to shield themselves and their possessions from the incoming ion storm. On a worldwide level, power lines were switched off, satellites reoriented in space, and planes grounded to mitigate the effects that would hit us. Despite humanity's contingency plan for such an event and all our efforts, we were still not prepared for the sheer magnitude of the solar flare that arrived. It was only then, when our race had become so dependent on technology, that we were immeasurably vulnerable against this kind of disaster. That day, a force with the power of 10 billion Hiroshima bombs was unleashed into our atmosphere. So, a nuclear bomb, I mean, I guess the development since then probably allows for different sizes of nuclear bombs. So, I guess. The eyewitness reports from this day were varied as they were terrifying. A huge, beautiful aurora could be seen on the horizon before fireballs hurled across the sky. Some places, these lights became so bright that even those asleep at night awoke, as though day had already arrived. The coronal mass ejection by itself did not have the power to kill anyone directly, but the side effects were disastrous. After the lights in the sky arrived, sparks showered from electrical outlets everywhere, igniting rampant fires in every town and city. Facilities that stored weapons, fireworks, and other explosives became centers of widespread destruction and loss of life. During the next stage, solar flares started to affect body modifications and caused commonplace pacemakers and nanomachines to fail. 15% of the world's population died as a result of this alone. Considering how big the world's population is now, and the fact this is definitely the future from today's world, that's 15% is probably a lot. Once the full power of the waves hit us, however, society as we knew it collapsed in one fell swoop. Power grids on Earth shut down in an instant, as did all the machines that automate our routine tasks. Long-distance communication and transport became a thing of the past. Without electrical power, the quality of healthcare plummeted, and water and sewage systems were crippled. Diseases we thought defeated centuries ago made their comeback in a most unsightly fashion. Many thought the end of the world had arrived, and in a way it had. Some people blamed whoever their belief system would allow, angry at the gods that had forsaken them. Others pointed their fingers at our lifestyle and society, not that anyone was listening. Practically, we were back in the Middle Ages. Governments collapsed and were overthrown. Ensuing power vacuums filled with groups of people that were sometimes organized and sometimes not. A few functioning electronic devices left became rare, sought-after artifacts over which battles and even wars were fought. Of course, there were also wars over resources and territory. The weaponry used was improvised or reclaimed from the days when humans had been present on the battlefield. It had been ages, but people returned to the old bloody ways of war. Humanity is in shambles now. Those that I call family friends now live with me in a giant, mostly self-sufficient city-state of survivors. A huge wall around the perimeter, guarded by militia, prevents any outside interference. It's the only way we can retain a modicum of order. Gangs of raiders and looters run rampant on the outside. They wouldn't hesitate to kill first and ask questions later if they had known about my PDA. Our contained community has flourished for years now. We have homes to live in, crops to grow, and livestock to raise. Still have our own automated hospital that runs on salvage generators. Lately, though, supplies have started to run low, and dangerously so. Power we have is running out. Illnesses are spreading through the city, and treatment isn't available as it used to be. Our population is dropping by the day. We took a great risk to increase the radius of our scouting missions, desperate to find something outside the wall that could help us. You already know the rest of the story. We found the portal, and you. And now you know why this whole thing is so important to me. All our hopes lie in acquiring the generators you promised us. The act of sending Reza and me here has, without a doubt, already cost the lives of some people back home. Okay. See... Okay. Kinda makes sense that... Hence now why... They never gave us the option to say, yes, we'll go back home. It was always an automatic no whenever the subject was brought up. And yeah, it turns out Cad was holding on to some info that we didn't know. That we were only like guessing upon. But now we know the story. Beyond the city walls is a dead zone. We haven't heard from any other settlements for months now. The state of the rest of our world is unknown. When Reza and I were sent here, my peers made it clear that this was our last chance. If anything happens to us, no more people will be sent. If we can't manage to bring back something that will help, we'll have sealed the fate of tens of thousands that live in our city. I'm sorry, Cat, I didn't know. If what you're telling me is true, and unfortunately does not work in your favor. As sad as your situation may be, it gives Reza a motive. Desperate times call for desperate measures, after all. In that vein, it also gives you a motive. Considering the gravity of the human plight, it gives you all the more reason to collaborate with him. I'm not. What Reza is doing is wrong. You can't send me away under these circumstances because I'm your best bet at finding him. Even so, you would still be in grave danger after we announce Reza's involvement in the murders. I cannot and will not take responsibility for the consequences when I know of the risks. What about our deal then? In the wake of the new information and as a sign of goodwill, we will send the generators you are on through the portal once this is over. Under 2 conditions. Humanity must condemn Reza's actions, and we must reclaim the stolen PDAs. I've changed my mind. You should let Cad stay here. I cannot take your word under consideration in this matter, Chief. Taking into account Maverick's actions, and your responsibility for them, you will have to be dealt with separately. So, his word's okay as long as it's in your favor. But otherwise it's null and void. Okay. Great. Love it. With my authority as the minister in charge of the human visit, my decision is to have Cad sent back to the human world through the portal. Please. Immediately. Chief, please arrange for an escort to take Cad to the portal now. I could do it myself, Minister. Well, we have our own matters to discuss, Chief, and I would rather get that over with as quickly as possible. In that case, one of my officers should be here any moment. I arranged for him to meet us here. How handy. I was late for this officer of yours. Didn't take long for Sebastian to arrive. After the situation was explained, he was visibly shocked, but didn't protest when he was given the task of sending me back through the portal. Let's go, Cad. Don't I even get to say goodbye? Let's not waste any more time. You'll still be free to send letters after you have arrived on the other side. Just go, Cad. Come on, then. We were silent as Sebastian and I slowly made our way to the portal. With each step I took, I drew closer and closer to the hopelessness waiting for me in the ruins of the human world. All in all, I certainly had a unique experience alongside these dragons, and although this place was filled with just as much drama and murder as back home, I remember this world and all the people I met. I would fondly think back to the days I spent in their comfortable standard of living, a shadow of how humanity used to be. Even without the generators, at the very least I'd be returning home with a few life lessons. So was Cad born before or after the solar flare? Like, how long has this been going on?
What's going on here?
I thought I haven't noticed the Dean approach. It's none of your concern. Please leave.
Can I get a few minutes before I go? I suppose nobody's stopping us, but make it quick. The human on official business, huh?
I don't even know you right now, do I?
Don't you remember? I met you in the cafe and at the crime scene.
That's all, isn't it?
Unless I missed something, yeah.
What are you doing out here?
I was just practicing my flying when I spotted you down here. And who would say no to an opportunity to meet one of the humans? Not me.
Afraid this will be both our first and last opportunity to talk. I'm about to leave this world again.
Is that so? That's too bad. Kind of a shame I never got to know you. Wait, does this have something to do with those rumors I heard? Is Reza really a murderer?
I'm afraid so.
What does that make you?
I don't have anything to do with that. I was helping the police find him.
Then why are you leaving?
For my own safety, apparently. This wasn't my decision.
Really? But what about Reza?
All I could offer was a shrug. I guess they're convinced that they can find him on their own.
I see. I'm not sure what to think anymore.
Not sure either. I looked over my shoulder and glanced at Sebastian. I should be going now.
Alright. Goodbye, Cad.
Goodbye, Adine.
I remember her. That was the witness from Reza's first murder. Do you know her?
A little.
I see.
A few minutes later, we arrived at the portal, standing proud as ever in defiance of the elements. How many years had the structure survived before it was found?
I hope I can remember how this thing works.
Are you joking?
Yeah, sorry, I got it.
Alright, I suppose it's time for us to say goodbye.
Let's keep it professional. I don't like mixed personal matters with work.
I looked away and I shrugged. Go ahead and turn on then.
Just stand between the pillars, please.
Of course. I took my place and stared toward the horizon while I thought about what would happen now, this world and others. If I made a break for it, I'd become a fugitive, no better than Reza. It would be near impossible to investigate the case by myself, on the run in a world I knew so little about. At the very least, I took comfort in the fact that I did everything I could to help, even if it turned out like this. Nevertheless, I dreaded going back empty-handed, returning to my old life in our ruined city. Any second now, the teleportation process would start, disintegrating my body before I reappear on the other side, back in my dying world. I wonder if there was any risk of getting lost somewhere between worlds. We didn't really know how the portals work, after all. Maybe I'd be flung somewhere else in space-time, or it might affect my body in some way. I hadn't noticed any unusual changes in my body since I arrived in the Dragon's world, but I had no way of knowing there were potential long-term side effects. I still remember the images I saw when I teleported the first time. The vivid sights and patterns, people and situations I've recognized since then. It only took a moment to arrive at the other side of the portal, yet it felt like I had dreamed 1,000 dreams. During the nights I spent here, these dreams had often reappeared. Any time now, I would undergo the same experience again. I was almost relieved that my adventure was over. Things had turned out far differently than expected. I evaded danger, got swept into a murder investigation, and met incredible, intelligent beings from several different species. It's certainly been a time to remember. That thought, I closed my eyes and braced myself for the moment that would come any second now. But that moment never came. Next thing that did happen was that I heard Sebastian's voice. It's not working. Are you joking again? No, really, it's not working. Wait, what is this? It's broken. Can you fix it? I don't think so. This doesn't look like a simple act of vandalism. Looks like some parts were torn out. I guess that means I'm not leaving, huh? Not yet, at least. Well, what do we do now? Let's head back. The chief has to know about this right away. Back in the ministry before long, Emma and Bryce were still outside as Remy approached the two of them. Here are the case files, Emma. Why, thank you. Cad and an officer? What's this about? Cad and an officer? What's this about, Emma? That's what I would like to know. Please, officer, enlighten me. Why has my order not been carried out? The portal is broken. It's broken? Yeah, it looks like someone tampered with it and stole parts. I couldn't even get the interface turned on. We'll check it out once I'm done here. I suppose Cad will stay with us a little longer after all. Seeing how this is an emergency situation, I will make this short. Chief, as a result of your carelessness regarding Maverick and Reza, you were temporarily removed from any deals related to the humans. Given these dangerous times, you will instead serve as my personal escort until further notice. Considering the circumstances, you will be allowed to coordinate the investigation of the portal, but after that you are to immediately return to me to start your new task. Understood? Understood. Then all of you are dismissed. She turned to leave, Remy trailing after her. Alright, let's head to the portal. That includes you, Cad. Of course. Corner my eyes, spotted a sheet of paper on the ground. Hey, what's this? Emma probably dropped one of the case files. Either her or her assistant. Better bring that to her. Sebastian and I should hurry to the portal. Meet us there afterwards, okay? Sure. She started reading. Spell what had happened when I met Reza at the portal. Of course, didn't say anything I didn't already know. So I walked up the stairs. I wonder if it's okay for an unauthorized person to enter a building. All I knew about the place was that Emerald worked there. Then, I did have an important document that was going to be missed, so I walked inside, only to be greeted by an empty lobby. Luckily, there were some signs directing me to Emerald's office. It didn't take long to find it, and I heard voices when I approached the door. By the way, what happened to the scroll you brought me this morning? Last time I saw it, it did not have that tear. I dropped it. Tell me something new for once. Okay, someone else dropped it. Am I supposed to believe that? Remy, are you aware of how much this costs? Repairing and replacing artifacts is not cheap. I'm afraid we have to deduct this from your wage again. I see. Not doing this on purpose, are you? Of course not. You've been working for me for a long time now. I expected you to learn at some point, but you're very resistant to do so. Not wanting to listen to this any longer, I decided to knock. There are a few seconds of silence. Please, come in. I only opened the door long enough to hand Remy the sheet of paper. I think you dropped this outside. So I closed the door and started to walk away. I heard the voices resume. This is from one of the case files you requested. You must have dropped it. Then why was it left outside? As my assistant, you should have paid more attention. If it's gone to the wrong hands, someone could get in trouble. I made my way back to the portal and arrived shortly after Bryce and Sebastian. Well, I can't confirm that it's not turning on. I told you that already. Just wanted to be sure. You really think it would still work with a chunk ripped out of it? Hey, I'm not an engineer. We don't know how the portal works. It was worth another try. Okay. Main sign that Sebastian's not a relationship. He has the one expression, whereas Bryce has many. There you are, Cad. What do you make of this? I'm afraid I don't know any more than you do. I'm not an engineer either. In that case, we should start thinking about the who and when. There are patrols assigned to the portal and surrounding area day and night. Someone tampered with the portal, they must have seen something. Today's day patrol didn't notice anything unusual though. I guess she just missed the part about the patrol being vandalized. It'd be easy to overlook. Small part of the machine, and it's not like she was expected to check every square inch of it with each lap around the area. What about the night patrol then? When I went over the reports this morning, I noticed the night patrol hadn't handed theirs in yet. It was patrolling last night. Let me think for a minute. The schedule always goes in certain order, so last night would have been... Damn. Maverick. What is it? Night patrol for last night would have been Maverick. I got wrapped up in all the recent chaos and forgot to find a replacement for him when he went on sick leave. Maybe Emerald was right to take me off the case. So there was no night guard here at all. That's right. Whoever it was had an easy time doing whatever they wanted. Could it have been Maverick? If he knew no one was going to be here, he could have used that knowledge to his advantage. He could have known that I'd forget to find a replacement though. I don't usually slip up like this. What about Reza? Why would he have done? He'd be cutting off his only way out. No, he'd be doing something smart. He has the part he needed to get the portal working again. He's got control of who gets to use it. He's cutting off our ability to communicate with mankind. We wouldn't be able to inform them of Reza's actions. Maybe we shouldn't have kept the investigation secret for this long. If your theory is true, that would be proof Reza's actions are his own, not humanity's. Hey, I already trust you on that. Or it's a stunt to grant humanity's plausible deniability. No way. Things are too dire for the humans to take such an extraordinary risk, especially that. Okay, so it sounds like there's only a part missing, even though the picture looked like some of those circuit boards were snapped in half. I'm sure that wouldn't be the only reason they'd benefit, though. There must be something we're not aware of. Maybe we're looking at this from the wrong angle. No one is here to guard the portal. Anyone could have broken it. Doesn't necessarily have to be anything to do with Reza or Maverick. But they still have the greatest motives. Sure, they definitely aren't the only ones to have one. They could be a private groups or an interest in technology or significance as a human artifact. So that puts us exactly nowhere. At least as far as speculation is concerned. About time for forensics to show up anyway, so if they can pull some clues from all this. Yeah, Sebastian's the only known officer still remaining on the force right now. Sebastian, can you take it from here? You've been just as dedicated to the case as I have. Since I'll be at the minister's side for a while, I'd like to take charge of the investigation for now. Thanks, Chief. I won't let you down. What's up with that anyway? Being pointed as Emmer's bodyguard as punishment just seems strange to me. Are you kidding me? I could have lost my job. This is a way better outcome, honestly. She probably did it for her own sake more than anything else, but I'm not complaining. If that's all, I'm going to head back to the ministry. Shouldn't keep her waiting. Wait, when Bryce turned around, he gained a scar. Holy shit. Okay, credit where credit is due. They don't just mirror the images like most games do. Like, seriously. I still remember, like, Iconoclast, like, oh yeah. This guy lost an arm. But when he turns around, it's the other arm missing. So, what does that make you now? Temporary chief? More like case leader. By the way, you won't need to stick around while forensics does their job. Thanks for your help. So you can find your way back to your apartment? Yeah, of course. Alright, I'll see you later then. See you. You know who does have facial expressions? Adine. I considered spending my free time roaming town, but I decided that it would be best to keep myself out of the spotlight. After cooking myself a rudimentary meal, I considered picking up another book when the doorbell rang. Hey, Cad! Hey, Sebastian, do you need my help again? We're just a small town police department. Bryce removed from the case. Resources are thinner than ever. Understand, so what do you have for me? First up, it's the primary witness to the latest murder. Damien, the victim's assistant, he was the one who found her body. A few things have changed since this morning as we've gotten some additional information from forensics that warrants further questioning. I know you knew the victim personally, so you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'll leave choice to you. Find her assistant at the production facility. Seemed interested in the underground building found near the portal. Realize that you might actually be able to help us with that. Since it's suspected to be of human origin, your opinion would be greatly appreciated. Guess I should add archaeologist to my resume. Maybe human matters consultant would be more appropriate. You really think it's okay for me to tamper with your priceless discoveries? Oh, you wouldn't actually go there in person. I just want you to take a look at collected information in the archive to give us your opinion. Besides, no one's allowed to visit at the moment. The building is old and stable. There's danger of it collapsing or flooding. Obviously, we don't want either of those to happen. Flooding? Yes, the whole building is underground. Turn there's a rather large pocket of water surrounding it. Any kind of disturbance could endanger everything and everyone inside. I see. We also located another witness for the latest murder. Store clerk reports seeing and hearing something, so probably worth it to ask him a few questions. Got it. Here are all the details. Visit me at the department once you're done. Sure thing. Interested in what they still rely on me for their investigations, even after they tried to send me back to my world. Didn't expect them to allow me to help with police matters after everything that happened. Now that the possibility of sending me back was eliminated, the advantages of having me on their side would apparently outweigh the risks. I had to wonder who would have been more would have to be more careful from now on. This session is probably not gonna last too much longer since I am just going through my water. What should I do? Let's visit the police archives. I was on my way to the police station when a voice called out to me. Hey, you! Let's talk to you, human. Oh, okay, not Maverick. So, new character. Can I help you? I certainly hope so. I'm in a little conundrum here. My cart seems to be stuck. I can see that. I'm Katsuharu, by the way, local ice cream vendor. Cad, you've probably heard of me by now. Of course. In any case, do you think you could spare some time to help me out? It might take a while though, so I hope you're not in a rush. Sure, I'll help you. Thank you. Now, I already tried pulling it out, but I think the axle is going to break if I try to do that again. It wasn't really in the best condition to begin with, honestly, and I heard a crack when I tried to pull it out earlier. So, what do you want me to do? The cart is pretty heavy, so I'll be the one lifting and holding the wheel steady so the axle doesn't break. Once I give you the sign, you start pulling, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Alright. Here, grab the handles and wait for my signal. By the time I got into position, Katsuharu was already on the other side of the cart, getting dirty as he slowly lifted the affected corner of the cart out of the muddy hole. Urgh! Is that your sign? Should I start pulling now? Do it! Do it now! Start pulling, but the cart turned out to be much heavier than I expected and didn't move. What are you waiting for? Do it already! Pulled hard, but the cart still refused to budge. Muster all my strength before I pull as hard as I possibly could. Yes! Do it! Slowly, the cart started moving, and after a few seconds, it was freed from the perilous crutches of the muddy pile. With a dull thud, the dragon set the cart down again before he flopped on the ground exhausted. Hey, we did it. Yeah, good job. Do you want me to call you some help? No, just need some rest. Maybe some ice cream. Yes, I'll have some ice cream. I'll be better in no time. That must be some pretty good ice cream. Oh, you have no idea. You must have already heard people talking about my wonderful, unique ice cream experience. Actually, not really. Oh, where are my manners? I haven't even properly thanked you yet. It's no problem. Oh, insist. I won't be indebted to you for helping me. What are you planning? You are hereby invited to join me for ice cream. As a ambassador, you owe it to yourself and humanity to try it. Maybe I do. Well, I must be going for now. Here's my number. I'll get you that ice cream some other time. Thanks. You helped Katsuharu. Before signing my next move, I returned to my apartment for a moment of rest. One piece of paper had slipped under my door was gone. Don't go to the portal, was all it said. I considered the possibility of a hidden message, but that was unlikely. The statement was blunt and quickly scrawled. Someone clearly didn't want me to go to the portal, but why would I go there in the first place? As it was out of order right now, such an action would serve no purpose. Inside the window at the portal was faint silhouette in the distance. Paper rustled between my fingers. I fidgeted with it, wondering about the message's sender and significance. My thought was violently interrupted by a sharp burst of gunfire echoing from the portal. Think fast. Gunshot ensured Reza's involvement. He was at the portal. The question was, why? This was an attempt to flee back to the human world. He would receive a rather unpleasant surprise at the moment he would try to use the portal. Maybe Sebastian's theory was correct, and Reza held the part needed to repair the portal, in which case his escape could be imminent. Gunshots themselves were another question. Was someone trying to stop him? Police patrol may have seen him and may have been taken by surprise. This could be another murder in progress. All of his murders were committed with a sharp weapon before now, not a gun. He didn't want to be heard. Besides, it was only early evening. Town was still bustling. Reza wanted to stay hidden. He was doing a rather poor job of it. Of course, there's also the possibility that he wanted to be heard, but who did he want to attract? The police? Maverick? Could easily be a trap for those hunting him, and technically including me, but I wasn't sure if he knew of my involvement in the investigation. Also a very real possibility that he knew my apartment was close enough to the portal to hear a gunshot. Could it be a signal for me? Regardless, the words I held in my hands were unmistakable. Don't go to the portal. What should I do? Go to the portal. The path I took was a familiar one by now. Even with night falling, it was easier for me to find my way around. Long, grotesque shadows stretched before me, and the atmosphere was eerie and dangerous. I couldn't tell if it was because of the evening's shroud of darkness, or if the urgent situation tugging at my mind had twisted my perception. I made it past the village border and pressed on. There was still a fair distance to go. Suddenly, gloved hands grabbed me from behind, clamping over my mouth. I couldn't make a sound. All I could see was the same hooded figure that I met in the maintenance room after the second murder. It's too late. Maverick arrived before you did. He'll make sure that no one uses the portal today. Don't follow me. I was shoved to the ground before I regained my composure. The figure vanished into the darkness. If Maverick was still in the area, it's not a good idea to stay here. I wouldn't want to fuel his suspicions, or worse. Figured it's time to go back to the police department anyway. Okay. There you are, Cad. Seems to me you've taken a liking to Bryce's chair. Maybe I could get used to this. Oh shit, he does have an expression. Don't tell Bryce, though. By the way, we have evidence that Reza visited the portal today. Someone reported loud bangs consistent with what we know about his weapon. Didn't manage to catch him, but I wonder if this stunt means he's getting desperate. Who knows? Now let's take a look at what you've got for me. This isn't much information to go on, but who knows when it can come in handy. I do what I can. I know, your help is greatly appreciated, believe me, especially since we're so short in staff right now. That'll be all for today. Contact you if we need anything. Of course. See you next time. See you. Finally, a free day. What should I do? Okay. Yikes. Oh, interesting. Reading books is out of the question now. Been replaced with Meet with Katsuharu. Anyway. Next time on Angels with Scaly Wings, we're good. Shit's getting real. Like, holy shit. See you guys next time. Goodbye.